Welcome to Military Faith and Spiritual Resilience. This is Elizabeth Fulgaro. With me today is Renee Hamilton-McNealy, soldier and artist. Renee, I'm so excited to continue your story. You have mentioned that you've been in the Army Reserve and there have been periods of active duty for about 24 years. And you've shared why you joined and kind of some of the things that it has given you. Can we expand on that? Could you share a little more about what some of your reasons have been to stay in the Army Reserve?
Oh, awesome. So the first thing that comes to mind, I always say that is I love meeting people. I love being able to help people develop and grow. And the longer I've been in, the more experiences, education, knowledge I've had, responsibility. I'm like, oh, I get to do more now. Oh, so for me, the difference from being maybe a E5 sergeant in finance or a team leader for 10 soldiers, oh, I made E6, now I have this. I felt like at each level, and not that I need the promotion to do more, because I've always worked 2 ranks above, as my mentors taught me and taught us then. But it was like newfound ground each time. Or it was like, I guess the word is fertile ground. Like, oh, wow. So now it's a fresh new start. Each unit, each position. And now I get to leverage what I learned over here to a whole new group of people. And for me, I feel like my Army family got bigger and bigger the longer I stayed in. People may have retired, and then new people joined. But there's nothing like it I've ever experienced. I've worked in the federal government, beauty industry, other different types of lines of work that I've had, but just a sense of pride. It's a great experience to put the uniform back on, to do the things you've done for quite some time, but it could be different with different people that you meet. And I'm just grateful that whatever I've learned, I've been able to pour more out. So now, just from sharing a story or an experience or a school I've gone to or whatnot, I couldn't have, for example, gone to the Sergeant's Major Academy at Fort Bliss in Texas and, all right, thank you, bye, I'm going to leave. I mean, I could have. If it was time for me to retire, so be it. But it felt great to then take that experience and mentor others and help them with preparation and help them with writing their papers. It's a beautiful circle of learning, doing, growing, and pouring back. And the circle just kept going. So I don't know, each experience or each position and unit provides unique experiences to learn more people and pour back into others. It just feels great. Nothing is perfect, but it feels great.
That's cool. What you notice in terms of effect as you pour into others, is there I'm wondering if there's like a ripple that goes forth.
Right. Yes, I noticed that people are grateful. They feel like you're not just telling them something because you have the position or rank to do so. You care. And what I've observed is that once someone realizes, oh, hey, for example, you're aware of this HR certification. Oh, did you know you could use your GI Bill for this? Oh, use your tuition. They feel like, oh, wow, you're giving me some really cool keys to open new doors. And even though it may be there, when I give them a realistic example, it's more of, hey, not only are you going to share with me what I can do, but you're going to kind of guide me through it. You know what? I want to do this for somebody else. And I always say, just make sure you pass it on. Don't let the resources stop in your inbox or with your knowledge. If I prepped a few to go to battle staff, I wanted to go there earlier in my career. It didn't happen, but it's okay. I went later on when I was E8, but 2 other soldiers in my unit also went, and it was a great time preparing them. And I'm letting them know how this can benefit you. So the ripple effect I see is that peers also, even though everybody in my life are really, really great mentors, it was more of, well, you know what, let me share this with my people too. And then amongst the leaders, we discuss, and we kind of brag on the soldiers too. I love doing that too. But the ripple effect I've seen is that people have been able to observe that, yes, you can balance being a leader in the military and entrepreneurship, as well as family, time with your children. Sometimes I used to mentor some groups on social media, and I paused from that, and I like to do so in person or directly with people. Um, but someone would reach out to me, hey, I'm looking for a mentor. They'll share their military bio, their resume, and I'd be like, okay, thanks for the documents. When are you available for a call? And we talk. I'm like, I don't want to know you on paper. I need to know who you are. Like, why do you join? What are your values? I always ask, what's your dog name? What about cat? I'm a cat person. And in doing so, I said, I need to know who you are, what motivates you and drive you. It's easy to say, go to this class, get this position, go to this course, get this degree. You're a whole person behind the uniform, and there is a whole identity and value system behind the rank and name. And I said, again, all soldiers are entitled to outstanding leadership. I will provide that leadership. It's not outstanding if I'm just looking at who you are on paper. And when that happens, I realize they then will share stories. Not that they start just because I did, but it'll be, you know what? I asked somebody, why they don't want to go to this course. They're not motivated by these things. Oh, they're focused on their civilian education right now and their job. Right. You just can't tell someone what they need to do without having a conversation. It has to go both ways in a natural flow. For me, I've observed that approach has been best. When people feel seen and heard, and they know what they're doing connects to their why, they're more committed. They show up more. We're not just doing it to say, hey, I have this class, I'm more competitive than my buddy. If you're moving through without intention or purpose, it's easy to lose interest and your commitment to be shifted, because what's keeping you going?
How do you help them stay connected to their why?
So I think I'll use the term value-based goals to reassess. So let's say if someone, let me give an example. I know a young soldier who works in the film industry, but also wanted to learn, a lot about public affairs. Her why is sharing people's stories. She's like, we have a lot of great talent in the Army Reserve. People have to get to know who they are. The same mentality. It feels good to see it. So I told her, I said, you remind me of me years ago, but you're your own person. And what you want to do is wonderful. So no matter what she does, she takes time to get to know people. I said, what if you can publish that? What if you can even take a picture and have it captured for social media?
Wow.
And she started doing it. Like, oh God, we were able to talk about so-and-so. Yes. And I love saying, and you have that power. How does that feel? If I ask someone how it feels, it's wonderful. They get an opportunity to talk about it, not just say, hey, great job, I really appreciate it. If I say, hey, that's a wonderful job you did by interviewing those 3 soldiers and learning what they have going on in their lives, how did that make you feel? I think, what? Oh, how I feel matters? Yeah. Then I say, remember that, because you can do so more and more in different ways. We could be taking a Army combat fitness test. We can be going to the range. You could be on the bus traveling somewhere. You can have what we call hip pocket training. You can share a current event. And if you give room to ask somebody, what do you feel about that? What are your thoughts? They know that their thoughts are valid and there's room for them. And you can turn that into a whole nice little story if you want to and share it. Everything don't have to be published, but for her, she was able to realize this is my why, and this is what she's been doing all the time. She didn't even realize it. Her why was, of course, people's stories matter. No, her belief system was people's stories mattered, but her why was trying to create ways to bring it to life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's really opening up a space for people to expose who they are in a way that they're safe.
Yes.
By asking them questions that invite their input. That's part of what I hear you saying.
Yes, and it's actually an article I saw recently about intrusive leadership. It doesn't mean forcing yourself in people's spaces, but creating room and space to learn more about the person and their motivations, what's going on in their life. Sometimes somebody may have an issue where they're not showing up for training. Oh, they're crap, they're not here, they're late. What happened that morning? Do they feel comfortable telling you what happened? That means the work has to be done early on. Same thing you mentioned earlier about preparing for leadership. maybe even write a list of how can I make myself approachable to different people and different cultures and different situations, and it's universal and it's trusted and it's felt, to where if somebody was having a financial issue, even though there's tons of resources, would they feel comfortable to tell me? I used to ask myself, why do people always come and tell me what's going on? There's an issue. What about your leaders? What about your family? Oh, these people are awesome and supportive, but many people, everyday people, military and non, need spaces to be vulnerable and speak their truth. It doesn't always have to require therapy, even though that is very, very amazing. In general, human relationships. I love my phone. I'm a late, what am I? One of the oldest millennials, but I also know the power of putting it down. And what I love to do, if I'm talking to someone and say, hey, give me one moment, I'll take it, put it on Do Not Disturb, or put it on a mute, or what do you call it? The notifications off, turn it upside down. And then, okay, let's go. And they'll realize, oh, okay, there's not going to be interruptions.
So you're present. Yeah. You're present.
Present, active listening. It's not a check mark. I've had some really amazing leaders in my unit. Even as an E8, I had a command sergeant major. He's so awesome. I asked him for a few moments of his time. The moment turned to about 2 hours.
Whoa.
To this day, I'll remember. He's retired now, but I've always told him, you afforded me that time as a leader. It helped me so much. There were things I couldn't talk about with other people. And the same way we provide space and room for others to share their truth, leaders have to make sure they have that room for themselves.
So now we're touching on balance. Now we're touching, because if you're trying to make sure that your people are known and seen and valued and heard, but there's only 24 hours in the day.
Yes.
So how do you keep this in balance and make sure there's the self-care that you're just mentioning?
Oh, I love that too. I think even you let people know that initial communication makes a difference in leader emphasis and your communication. You develop a culture where everyone finds value in that. So it's like, oh, you know what? Oh, sorry, she talked to me this morning. Like, I taught a soldier who have a great job at Google, doing really awesome. Like, you do this, that, and that. Oh, really? Wow. And then I knew I had to step away. Hey, so did you know he worked here? Hey, tell him more about what you did. Hey, I do have to run out. It doesn't mean every single person, but I can tell when someone needs to speak in the moment. We have, of course, the open door policy. I always give my phone number out initially. I said, go ahead and shoot me a text. I'll lock you in, even though, I have our phone rosters. Use it. Use your chain of command. Go through your leaders. But know that if you need to, it's there. Or I'll come earlier or be in the places I know I need to be in. Make yourself available. Or, hey, after I may go for a run, but I'll be here for additional 2 hours if anybody, needed anything. Phone, email, text. It's presence, availability, and accessibility, but you can be an open, transparent leader with boundaries. That means you can tell, hey, you can contact me at any time before 2100 hours, before 9 p.m. If it's urgent, go ahead. You can do so after. But at least, it's not, hey, I called somebody at midnight, they didn't answer. You help people manage expectations with effective communication, because a leader with no boundaries will set a poor example for others. Yep.
So I hear you. A lot of what you're talking about is really about good communication, including the active listening part, right? Not always talking to, but
yes.
But that it's a back and forth.
Yes.
Do you want to comment more on communication and the importance of it, what that looks like?
Oh, for sure. I like how you reinforce what someone says, repeat it back to them, give them room to speak. I went to a unit before where I was being introduced, but instead I wanted to go around the entire room and give everybody room to speak. And at the end, I was like, "Ooh, looks like we're out of time. There'll be enough time for you all to learn me." I did share where I'm from, some things I value. But I said, we won't have to get into all that stuff. I really wanted to get to know each and every one of you. The same way you communicated, feel free to do so. Don't feel rushed. I've said that. And even I was leaving a previous unit, I had a soldier say, you know what, you taught me like a person. Not that any other leader does. He said, but you listen. It's something about how you listen and you remember stuff, and it's not just general. And I'm like, it shouldn't be. And your story is great and you're great. And I want to know. And it's from my heart.
There is a key.
Yeah. People will believe it when you believe it and when you live it. And when it's authentic, it will be felt. There's no need to perform whatever. I think whatever a leader truly believes in their heart and mind will be shown in their leadership, in their communication. Now, everybody interprets things different. Perspectives are different. And again, that communication plays a role. Sometimes I will say, hey, I naturally speak fast. Sometimes when I'm motivated and passionate, I will. But when I'm having a conversation, it's not just about me. Please feel free at any time to do your hand with a slow down motion if I'm speaking to a crowd, or hey, ask to repeat, because your experience matters too. If I say that in the beginning, then it builds comfort to have the conversation. So I trust myself to gauge it and be mindful. You can't be everywhere all the time or you won't be productive or effective. But when you are present, be there.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much. Can we continue our conversation next time?
We sure can.
Thank you, Renee.